Just be me and you today. Yeah. You know what? What's that? Hey, you know what? It's the upper it's the cream of the crop. You know what I mean? That's what I like to say. So, hey, welcome to the reboot. I am Jim Gaston. We are live. I think Brandon, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, we're on Facebook, we're all over the freaking place, brother. You know, and we've got a great show in store today. So, real quick, I'll introduce myself. I'm Jim Gass, SpliceNet Consulting in Cincinnati, Ohio, and the reason we do the reboot is to help business owners look at various things in their business, whether it's technology, site security, so on and so forth, and help them evaluate and make decisions on things maybe they looked at before or maybe they haven't looked at. So our job today, Brandon, is to talk about Microsoft Teams and help people evaluate certain aspects of Teams for themselves to decide whether they're going to go with it in the future or maybe they need to revisit it because of some of the newer features. You think that's a good idea? Tell them about yourself, Brandon. And just a general all-around great guy. And so, Brandon, I'm looking at 6 to 7 inches of snow outside here in Cincinnati, give or take, wherever you're at. And so, have you even seen snow in your lifetime, my friend? You see the north one back there, the Columbia jacket back there behind you. So I'm pulling the old cowboy today. Well, Brandon, let's get right to it and start talking about Microsoft Teams. And one of the conversations, excuse me, one of the conversations that you and I had before we started today was maybe giving a comparison for Teams and Zoom. And so I got a great comparison that I like to give with Teams and Zoom, a nice analogy. You want to hear that? I love it. I made a video about it over the summer, and I think it really plays well. So here you've got Microsoft Teams and you got Microsoft Zoom. I'm sorry, Microsoft Zoom. Not yet, right? Hey, you know what? If you can't beat them, buy them. So anyway, you got Microsoft Teams and you got Zoom. Great applications. Nobody can argue that they're both fantastic applications, but I like to talk about and compare them to two different cars. Okay, the first car you've got is a fantastic, just sweet cherry red 1970 Firebird, one of my favorite cars. Right, I'm a Firebird fan from way back. It was my first car. That Firebird, it's a beautiful car. It does a great job. It's just mint. It's awesome. The thing about it is, it's a single purpose mobile, right? Are you going to, in this weather I've got out here, Brandon, would you take a 70 cherry red Firebird and drive it in 8 inches of snow? Salt on the road, salt on the road. No, you're not going to, are you? Right? Okay. And you know what? It's got one purpose. When are you going to probably be driving that thing? Down there where you're at all the time. You know what? In your weather, yeah, nice sunny days. You're going to take it out of the garage. You're going to keep it in the garage. You're going to keep it cleaned with a diaper, because that's just how beautiful that car is. So, but you know what? As far as it goes, it's not the most comfortable ride. Those seats on those Firebirds weren't. They're not like the seats today in cars, right? They're not comfortable. It doesn't have power windows. Most of them didn't have power windows. Might not even have air conditioning. As a matter of fact, it's probably got an AM radio. And Brandon, I know you're a lot younger than me, but AM is basically the AM radio came before FM radio, which you probably might not know about, which came before XM, which came before Pandora and online music. Okay, so it's probably got an AM radio. It's probably got just an AM radio. I mean, what I'm saying is like, you know what? I love the car, but when I take my woman out, my wife, I don't want to have to reach over and pull the little thing to unlock the door. Or even open it for that matter, or roll the window down when I'm by myself. I'm rolling over the seat and rolling it down. That's what you got with Microsoft. With there, I love riding. Mhm. You got it. You got it. And it catches the eye of the girls that I'm never going to meet because I'm married, you know. But and all the guys that are jealous of it too. It does a great job. Just like Zoom, it does a great job at conferencing, at meetings. That's it, right? And I've got some other products, but nobody looks at those things. You know, it's not a full featured type of application like a Microsoft Teams. So I compare Microsoft Teams to a nice 2021 Corvette, right? And so that car, you know what? I wouldn't mind driving that guy. If it's my only car, that's going to be my everyday car. I wouldn't have a problem having that as an everyday car. I wouldn't have a problem driving that in the snow. You know, it might not do the best, right? But I'm not worried about the salt as much. And I know that, it depends on how much you spend for your vet. If you're spending 100 and some thousand dollars, it might be a different story. You're going to get a beater, but if you're spending 50, $70,000, I'll drive that car all the time, right? Still going to take great care of it. Still going to love it as much, but here's the thing. It's got power windows, got power locks, got power moonroof. It's got, Pandora and, AirPlay, Apple AirPlay, and all kinds of crazy stuff built into it. You don't have to worry about your directions because it's got navigation built into it. Man, I got to tell you what, it's got everything, right? And so that's what Microsoft Teams is. Teams can do conferencing, it can do meetings, it can do chats, it can do file sharing, it can do collaboration. I mean, what I like to say about Teams is it's almost like a newly gessoed canvas, right? A very fresh canvas that you can do a whole lot to. And you're going to use it all day long. Most of the organizations that I work with, when they get into Teams, they're like, oh, this is great. We can chat all the time. No more email to everybody because it's a lot less email and just get my answers right away. Or I just click a button and I meet with them right away. So, I like that comparison and analogy, those two cars, right? Nothing wrong with either one of them. Go for it. Yeah. 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 It really does. And I know people love Zoom. I know people love Slack, and we're not here to change. We're not here to change it. We're just here to help you think about it. So, and so what I'd like to do, Brandon, is pop into one of my favorite features with the Microsoft Teams, the thing that I think that is underutilized. What do you think? Okay, cool. So I'm going to share my screen here. I've got a meeting already running on my computer in Microsoft Teams. So tell me if you can see that there, right? That would be me. Now, if I were to add you into the meeting, we'd see you on the right-hand side, but I'm not going to add you. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring my phone into this, okay? And I've already got my phone in the meeting as well. Now, the nice thing about Teams is it knows it's me, so it doesn't differentiate me on two different devices. It's fine with that, right? So what I like to show here is how you can actually share your phone screen in Microsoft Teams. So if somebody wants to see what's on your phone, you can do that. Hey, I got a Word document, I got an email, I got a website, I got whatever. Can you look at Pandora? Can you look at Spotify with me, right? And so I'm going to share it into this meeting here real quick. And then what I'm going to do after I show you that you can do it, okay, is I'm going to show you the steps on how to do it. So there you go. You got it. So you see my screen there, right? So that's my screen right there. I don't have any bad apps, so I'm happy to say, But so what I did here to get this going is I just put my phone into the meeting. So you can't see that part, but if I were to bring up my Microsoft Teams, and I would go out of the meeting, okay, it would actually say there's a meeting running here at the top somewhere where the general is, and you could actually join your phone just by clicking join. And it will give you the option, do you want to transfer to this device, which is pretty darn cool in and of itself, right? And so it'll take me out of the desktop meeting, put me in the phone meeting, or vice versa, okay? Or do you want to add this device? And I didn't add the device. Now, once I got that in there, I went ahead and I take a lot of puppy pictures. And so, oh, that's silly. So what there's a little video right here. I'm going to start it over, okay, and go through it slowly. So in this video, I'm going to show you. I took this video of before I joined my phone into the Teams meeting, okay. So it might go a little fast. I'm going to pause it at certain places. So there you see it. I'm in the Teams meeting. Now I'm going to pause it right here, okay. And so in this, you see, I brought up the menu in Teams, and you see share about like sixth one down, right? Fifth one down. Okay. And use that share. So use that share, and then this menu comes up. Now, if I had a PowerPoint or a photo or a video, I didn't want to share my whole screen, I could do any of those things. But I just shared the whole screen. I think it's easier. And yeah. Mm. You got it. They fully unified this whole thing, right? It's probably the one they've done the best with, if you ask me. And so I'll move forward a little bit. Oh yeah, oh yeah, and it will be. And so this next screen, what I did is I was broadcasting. I was already recording my screen, so you can't record your screen and show your screen at the same time, I don't think. So it brought me up here to this screen. Okay. Now remember, I was doing a video, making this video on my phone at the same time I was trying to bring my phone into Teams. But what you would normally see would be that right there. Okay. And so all I have to do is click the start broadcast, and then we're sharing your computer, your phone, right? And yeah, yeah. You You got it. Yeah. Hey, we're getting ready to broadcast your screen, Microsoft Teams in a Microsoft Teams meeting. Is this really what you want to do? And you have to push that start broadcasting. So when you do, now you can show people anything you want to show them on your phone. Hey, you know what? Go into your settings real quick. You can't control it as the other side, as the viewer, but you certainly can tell people what to do. And so if you've got salespeople out in the field, if you've got any kind of person that needs help, this is a great way to do it. And how do you stop? Doesn't matter where you're at. And at least on the iPhone, you got this little red thing at the top. I just click it and I stop the broadcast, and my phone is no longer in the meeting. Well, my phone's in the meeting still. It's not out of the meeting, but I've stopped sharing my screen at least. Yeah. Yeah. You can do that. The other thing I want to add is I put my phone back in here real quick. Notice what's crossed out at the bottom. If you got two devices in the meeting, or even for that matter, by the way, I put two devices in. You didn't have to put two devices in to do this. You just got to have your phone in a meeting, or you started the meeting, right? But if you do have two devices, you're in the meeting on your desktop, and you want to show something that's on your phone too. Hey, can you look at this setting on my phone? I recommend muting and all this other stuff here at the bottom. Okay, this stuff right here. I think it's just better. It's just good practice to do. So that's one of my favorite features. You ready to talk about one of yours? Oh, go for it, brother. Yeah, you know what, if you want to share your phone, or I can do mine again, and I can show you. I'll do that again. Hold on. It's really that easy to show. Then and so that'll actually double show our example, right? So add this device, and then I'm coming in, and then I'm gonna share my screen again, and share screen. Let me get my Outlook open first, just to make sure I'm on something new too. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna do that. That way I don't show a bunch of my email. Because again, we need to be conscious of that stuff. 3, 2, 1, and my phone is now viewing again. Perfect. And here's a new event. So, meeting with Brandon. How's that? I could send you the invite, and there it is right there, right, brother? That's easy. Yeah. I mean, they've made it. I'll bring up an Outlook event real quick. A new meeting. I actually close my Outlook because when we do this, I like to have Outlook closed. I don't want a whole bunch of people bugging us. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, it's taking a minute for Outlook to open. Uh, yeah. Uh-oh. Brandon, I dumped you. That's embarrassing. That's okay. Go for it, buddy.
Okay. No, I was just saying how it seamlessly integrates between the apps and devices. So no matter what your status is, you're on a meeting, the calendar items are updating for everybody so they can see that stuff right away. And, we were just showing the one way to easily send an invite from a mobile device or any device, but you and I could be chatting in Teams, and you can literally just hit the Meet Now button, and everybody within that channel gets invited in to start a meeting in real time. So
let me go ahead and demo your Outlook. Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick. And so I'll bring up Outlook. I'm also ending the meeting on that screen. Sorry, guys. So here's Outlook. I just brought it over into my drafts folder, so most of the stuff in my drafts folder doesn't matter to me. But right there.
Well, so yeah.
One way.
Yep.
One way. What did you got another way?
No. I was just gonna say, if you bring up the standard meeting window that most people I don't think necessarily go through the drop down. So just bring up.
You're right. I think this is the easier way to do it. Your way is definitely much easier.
And then you got the big button in the upper left corner, Teams meeting. Boom, it's in there.
Yeah, somehow.
And look, you've even branded it. Perfect.
Yeah, I have actually, and a lot of people know that you could do that. Yeah. That is done on the Teams admin side in Microsoft 365. So yeah, you know what? That didn't actually show the way we wanted it to. So I'm going to do that again real quick and say meeting.
I also want to make mention that a lot of people don't realize that with Teams meetings, you can have a phone number. So it really just depends on your subscriptions. But some people think, well, I can't invite people from outside or have people call in. But actually, you can. It's just a matter of, hey, what Office 365 licenses do you have? Get with your IT guy or technical resource within your company to help you get that set up.
And I'm actually going to add one thing to that also. Why? You know what, Brandon? My button's not showing up here. It would normally be right there. I don't know what that's all about. So there'd be add Teams meeting to the invite is what it would be.
Yeah, so, you just had it up on the last when it was up a second ago.
I don't know. I probably got to restart mine. That's probably an update or something like that. That conference call add-on, if you have a Microsoft CSP provider, they actually are getting that for free for new users of the conference call add-on. So what Brandon's talking about, and I'll do it the way that I know it will work. Oh, that's why I'm having an add-in problem.
Oh, your add-in crashed.
Yeah, my add-in crashed on me. But when I do that new meeting, okay, and I schedule it, it will add the conference call. Well, nothing seems to be doing it for me right now. I'm going to try to open Outlook. That'll add that conference call number to the meeting so that if somebody doesn't have Teams, they can just dial in and talk on the phone.
Right.
And it's free now until like next February.
That is true. I forgot they did that adoption campaign that they're running. But you know, just you kind of showed creating a meeting within the calendar in Teams. That's going to end up syncing to your calendar. So wherever you go, whether it's in Teams, you create the invite, whether it's in your Outlook, you create the invite. That's going to, run across all of your devices and sync up.
Yeah, it does. And except for today, I killed my add-in. So sorry about that, everyone. So anyway, but yeah, that's the Teams calendar right there. That calendar is shown in Teams, in your Teams on your phone, and in your Outlook. Everything works together. I love that. So,
well, earlier you were mentioning something too about calendars in Teams and how you're getting a lot of usage out of that. I want to hear some more about that.
Is that a segue?
You were telling me earlier. I want to hear about it. I'm legitimately interested. I'm telling you.
So everybody has been clamoring for group calendars, okay, for a very long time with Microsoft Teams. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that these teams that are in Microsoft Teams that you create in these channels, all they are SharePoint groups and sites and stuff like that. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
Well, everyone knows that a SharePoint or a Microsoft 365 group, used to be called an Office 365 group, has its own calendar. But there was no easy way to add it. Well, they've just changed that recently. And so I'm going to go to my marketing calendar. We're also going to do a use case scenario on this too. Okay. So I'm going to go to my general marketing. And most of the time I tell people not to use general. I use it for demonstration purposes. And I come over here, and this is my old SharePoint calendar if it pops up. This is the old SharePoint. Yeah, that's not it. Oh, that's a document actually. Hi, look at Robin. So that's a document that has meant to stand by as a calendar for me. It was a horrible way to do it. So now they've given us the ability to use this add-in. So we can add a tab to the channel, okay? It's not to the team, it's to individual channels. So I search, and this is called channel calendar. And there we go, channel calendar. And so you add that channel calendar, and now say marketing calendar or schedule. How about schedule?
Yeah, it looks good.
Yep, add. And now it's added a new tab in the general channel under the marketing team so that I can actually create things. And notice I've got send aspirin letters. That's a campaign that we run, right? I could put something on here just like anything else, test for demo, right? And I'm just going to leave myself. I don't have to add myself because I'm the one creating the event, but I could add other people that are a part of this channel and team, or I should be a part of the team. I got a caveat on that in a second. And then send it. Now,
how does that impact in like Outlook? Or
it goes right onto your Outlook calendar.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it's as if, let me see if I can bring up my Outlook calendar over here. It's as if it's just part of your calendar. It's like a shared calendar almost.
Okay.
Yeah, and so all of the notifications, I'm getting all these wonderful emails. I'm gonna have to edit this and redact this video for us. So you go to your calendar, and so see that right there, test for demo, right? As if it's my own appointment.
And as a user of this, am I able to access the marketing calendar directly within Outlook, or do I need to go into Teams?
So no, I mean, oh, I see what you're saying. Can you access the marketing calendar? You know what? I've only just looked at it today. Let's take a real quick look and see, because it would be a shared calendar. Let's see here.
Scroll up a little bit more, right?
I'm gonna take mine off first. Okay. Well, I gotta have it here. Do you see marketing in here?
Under shared, no, doesn't. Group calendars, maybe.
Yeah, but I don't think that's the right one. That's that. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There it is
Okay.
right there.
Cool.
Because remember, it's a group, right? And so
Yeah.
now we're just giving you a way to show that group calendar right there now. Use cases. Look, I work for a lot of law firms. You know that. Use cases, I got it. Remember, this calendar is specific for this channel. Okay?
Yep.
Let's go. At least that's what I'm understanding. Let's go here and add another calendar, okay, under this campaign. And let's just see. Test a theory, right? It's my understanding, because they're called channel calendars, right?
The one thing that I want to kind of reiterate in terms of benefits and use case here is these newer Office 365 groups are now following you everywhere. So the benefit is, hey, I can go in Teams, I can find my chat information, calendar, technically contacts, but so that stuff is now also in Outlook. So you go in Outlook, you've got your calendar in there that's shared between the members, emails potentially that could be shared between the members, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, this is a great new feature.
And so from my understanding, they're separate calendars altogether. And so I put that on there. Now when I pop over into my Outlook, eventually my Outlook would update, and I would have that as another group.
Yeah,
okay?
Which is probably going to take a few minutes to propagate those type of changes.
Interesting. It's not showing it separately. A little bit of
it went on to the same one. Oh,
it
wow.
Did. I think I got a little investigation to do on this one. One thing I do know for sure is that it is impossible currently to add a calendar to a private channel. So in other words, a private channel is one that's not shared with everybody, okay? There's only certain people that can actually access it. You'd see a little lock next to this channel. You cannot do that yet. I do know that much.
Yeah, there's a lot of restrictions with the private channels. Honestly, we try to stay away from them when possible.
Yeah. You can't add planners to them, so on and so forth. And just like anything else, you get your reminders and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Did you have another one you wanted to drop in there?
External invitations is one thing I think people sometimes overlook. When we're doing projects, especially large projects, and we have external teams, consulting companies and stuff working on the project, we'll create a team for that project and collaboratively invite them in. They can chat with us. We can share a project plan via Planner, a calendar now, like you said, which that's actually very useful, especially for planning project stuff out and go live dates. So we love doing that, and you can restrict, or your admin can restrict those type of things. So maybe as a company, hey, we don't want to share any of this information except for this team specifically, where we're allowing people to come in. So you can do things like that. Yeah, I think that's great.
A couple of caveats to that one. And I learned this through one customer experience. If you add someone to a team that's not in your company, they have access to all the channels. Unless it's a private channel. Okay. So remember, there's that top level, there's that team. If you add an external user to a team, they've got access to every channel underneath it, unless it's a private channel, which is separate. And so I recommend setting up private channels, although there's that limitation for the calendar. Maybe the better thing it would do is set up a private team that not anybody has access to.
What we do as a best practice is every single team, external invites are disabled. We don't allow any guests, and then we'll make the exception when we need to. Hey, this is going to be for a project, or this is going to be for maybe a group like us, right? You've got a group of peers, 8 people, 10 people, you guys want to collaborate. Well, then you create a team just for them, and then you can share documents and everything, and you don't have to worry so much about the security pieces to it.
Just like all our guys and girls do. Yeah.
Yep.
So I tell you what, don't try this at home on your own. Caveat right there, right?
Yeah.
It's
the one thing that Zoom does well, right? It's very easy at just doing this one thing, but it only does that one thing. When you want to do all this other stuff,
you can't do most of that stuff with the Zoom product that everybody's using.
No.
I mean, I don't think there's anything that we showed that Zoom, the typical product that everybody thinks of with Zoom, that
No.
it can do. I mean, you just can't. So yeah, you get a mobile phone, you can share a mobile phone. I think you share a mobile phone.
Yeah.
That's about the extent of it. So, well, listen, Brandon, I think it was a great topic. You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
we're
that
at
was great.
2:01. I don't want to carry on for too much longer here. I missed everybody today. We're excited to see him back in a couple of weeks. What did we say our topic was the week after next? It was Google My Business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
Google My
hopefully
Business.
Ryan joins us for that one because he's got a lot of experience. I've got some good tidbits too there, so I've
Yeah,
got
that's
some
a
good
good
shares.
one. I mean, if you don't know what Google My Business is, 2 weeks from today, same time, 1:30 Eastern time on the Reboot, we're going to talk about Google My Business, how to use it for your business, and the absolute necessity of it now. It's really not even an option if you want to maintain relevance, right, on the web.
Yep.
So
For lead generation, presence in the community, you got to have
yeah,
it.
and Google is going so local with searches now. Its
Yep.
whole mentality, the whole algorithm is all based around maps and locality and all that stuff. So we'll dive deep into that. So thanks a lot, Ryan. Great to see you today.
Brandon, no, Ryan's in 2 weeks.
Sorry, Brandon.
Nah, you're good.
Ryan. And I'm thinking, I hope he shows up.
You'll have to buy me a drink at boot camp now for that one.
So, all right. Well, listen, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us on the Reboot. Brandon, sit tight. We'll catch up here just in a second. Take care, everyone.